Today we're going to be talking about Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most interesting people after the French Revolution to come into France to take over. We're going to be looking at two questions, so you should have already opened the Kia survey to look at these two questions. The first question is going to ask you to interpret this quote that Napoleon Bonaparte said. Interpreting a quote means, what does it mean? The second question is going to ask you to apply the quote. When you apply a quote, you're going to ask the question, how can I use this quote? And that's the most important part, because history isn't just about the past, it's about now and how you can use history to help you today. So let's start with question number one. The first question has to do with this quote. The quote is from Napoleon and it says, since one must take sides. So you notice that it says, since one must take sides. What this really means is you can replace one with you. We don't really say one anymore, but back then they used to say one when they were referring to you. So since you must take sides, and have you ever taken sides with someone before? Maybe you have one friend and another friend and they're fighting over like whether you should go to Subway or In-N-Out. But rather than talking about food, Napoleon was talking about war, and he was wondering which side he should side with in the French government. And he said, since you must take sides, one might as well choose the side that is victorious. Victorious means the person who wins the war, or the person who is victorious. So if you have to choose a side between two friends, you should choose the friend that has the bigger muscles, or the friend that is stronger. Napoleon goes on to say that one might as well choose the side that is victorious. It is better to eat than be eaten. In other words, it is better to choose the side that's going to be able to feed you after the war than choose the side that's going to lose. Now pause the video and go to the Kia survey and try to answer the first question about what the quote means. Alright, the second question has to do with how can we apply this quote? Because history wasn't just meant for the past. History was meant for today as well. And just like there were winners and losers in the past, there are winners and losers today. And you have to choose which side you want to be on. So Napoleon, just to remind us, said since one must take sides, one might as well choose the side that is victorious. It is better to eat than be eaten. How could this be applied in today's world? Well, it's better to eat than be eaten. So you have to choose which side you're going to be on. Are you going to be on the side that's victorious or the side that loses? Are you going to be on the side of the winners or are you going to be on the side of the losers? And this can be applied in many ways in your own life. For instance, sometimes your mom and dad are on different sides and you have to choose which side you're going to be on. Or maybe you have a brother and a sister and you have to choose which side you're going to be on if they have a fight. Or maybe you even have two friends and you're stuck in the middle and you have to choose which side you're going to be on. According to Napoleon, you should always choose the stronger person because he said you should always pick the person that is victorious because it is better to eat than be eaten. And my question is, do you agree with this? And that is the second question. Do you agree with Napoleon? Why or why not? Make sure to restate the answer in your question. So there are basically three parts to answering this question. Do you agree? Why? And restate the question in your answer. So you can use this template to help you answer the question. So if you go to kia.com and go back to the survey for the French Revolution today, for the Napoleon stuff today, you're going to either agree or disagree. You're going to choose one. Do you agree or disagree with Napoleon's idea that, and you need to restate Napoleon's idea because, and explain why you agree or disagree. So for instance, if you disagree, you would write, I disagree, and then you would delete the choose one part, and you would say, I disagree with Napoleon's idea that you should always side with the winners because, and then in the last part you would explain why you disagree. Or if you agree, you would simply say, I agree with Napoleon that you should always choose the winners because, and you need to explain why you agree or disagree. And this is sort of the basic introduction to Napoleon and what he thought about the world.